telling my story and really telling my clientele, this is how much work it takes to make this piece. And the price, it is what it is.
Right. So you put a story behind.
Yes.
Which creates an emotional relevance to the piece and empathy to what you are doing. Which that actually opens the door for a price point that you actually are the one that is setting. Okay, this is my price point because I do this, that, and that. So that's going to help you to be able to succeed in business. Is correct?
Yeah, you got to be firm with your costs. And something that I've learned throughout my journey too is not underpricing yourself because you feel like Forever 21 or H&M shirts are $12 or $20. This is a lot of work. It's a lot of passion. It's a lot of drawing a piece, illustrating something it takes hours.
Yeah, so you put a value in it, and that's what you are. And, you know, so it's a balance there. It's a kind of tricky because you need to be yourself. You need to tell your story, but also you need to sell.
Yes. You can't be... I can't be worrying about H&M having a $10 shirt and then I'm over here thinking, well, I have to make a shirt that's $10 because, you know what I mean?
You cannot compete because they are mass production.
They mass produce and they have hundreds of workers. Right. It's something that it's almost like a small business versus the mass production. And I feel like right now a lot of people are supporting smaller businesses because they know that it's something that's owned either like back in the day they used to call it mom and pop's shop. Right. They're supporting more of the smaller business now.
Yeah, because there is a story behind it. And we at the end we little by little I think we hate to be part of the masses. Massificate. You know, it's almost una cosa masiva, inmensa, and we need the identity. We need to have more life, put more sense into what we're doing. So that's why we can support people like you. Right. Correct? So tell me, let's jump a little bit ahead in this conversation. What's money for you?
Money to me, it's crazy because money... It's like a love-hate relationship. I grew up when I was very, very small. I think I was just meant to follow my especially my dad's steps to hustling very early in my life. So I remember in 5th grade elementary, I would sell collectibles, Tamagotchis, stickers, Sanrio to make money for not to help my parents because they were both working and they were making money. But they've told me very early on in my life, they said, we're going to buy you what you need. That means food, home, clothes, but we're not going to buy you what you want. So if you want something, you're going to have to earn it, work hard, and I don't know how you're going to do it. So I will sell things after school, before school, during lunch, and I would literally make $30 to $100 a week.
That's interesting.
And I was safe. I have a thing about saving money. I love saving money, but I also love treating my daughter and my family. So when I was growing up, it was all about hustling early on in my life, saving money. And then when I graduated high school, I moved out here to LA. And I knew then that I was never going to go back to my parents' house and that I needed to figure it out on my own. I wasn't going to ask my parents. I needed to work. I had a daughter early, so I had to get 2 to 3 jobs. And then I wanted to start a business. Okay, how do I start a business? How much money do I need? I didn't start with $100. I didn't start with $500 or $1,000. I started with what I had, probably even less than $20.
So, well, interesting. That's what your parents did to you was amazing. I love it. I wish I knew it before, but it's too late now for me. Anyways, what could be your best advice to other entrepreneurs that want to jump into your line of business? Because that space is very, very crowded, isn't it?
Yes, and it's only going to get more crowded because it's according to statistics, there's gonna be more entrepreneurs. And all I have to say especially for my younger generation, to really be ready if they really want to take this path, to be consistent, to be patient, to save a lot of money, and to really, really do it with passion, to really do whatever, whether it's art, whether it's law or anything, to really do it from the heart. Because once you do it from the heart, everything else is just going to fall into place.
Do you really believe that?
I truly, strongly believe that, because I don't think that all these opportunities or all these beautiful challenges that I get, they're not just because I'm popular. I don't think I'm that popular. I don't, the followers, I think it's more my story. And I think that the younger generation needs more people like this, so that they could be consistent and they can really follow their passion. Not because it's entrepreneur popularity, but really do it because they want it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, you're talking about passion and follow it and, do yourself and all that stuff. But I have a question. I was wondering, okay, so I have the passion. I want to become a designer.
Right.
And I really want to do it. And I'm listening to you, Jessica. Oh, no, she told me that. What happened if I don't have the talent? And how do I know, and when am I going to know that I don't have the talent to design, to create pieces that are going to be sellable? When to stop? Or shouldn't I stop ever? Just keep going, even if I don't have a talent for it?
Well, I think that, let's say there's two parts. There's that passionate designer that has been always so creative and has always done a lot of cut and sew stuff. And they're not perfect, because I've never been perfect. I feel like every day I'm learning. I think that if you've been that kind of person, then it's going to be a slower ride. But let's say you love fashion, but you know that you're not talented, or for whatever reason you think like, oh my gosh, I just cannot learn how to sew. Because a lot of people tell me that. I love fashion. I want to create all these things. I just can't sew. And I think that I've read in the past and heard stories where a lot of successful designers were very passionate about fashion, but just didn't have the talent. And I don't know how they did it, but slowly throughout their journey, hired a sewer, a professional sewer. And that's why their business succeeded, because they hired people that they weren't efficient or weren't, how do I say this? Like for some reason, for example, me, I hired someone that does all my accounting because I hate numbers. Right. I love saving and I'm very good with my budgeting and money. But when it comes to taxes and all of that mess, I knew that in order for me to have a successful business or for my business to grow, I needed to invest my money in an accountant so that she could do all of the stuff that I'm not good at it.
So you balance out your deficiencies, your limitations, and you hired the people that's going to cover that that shortcomings from your end.
Yeah, and I think that's important.
So then you need to know how to delegate.
Yes.
So if I know how to draw a piece, it's beautiful, but I don't know how to sew it, I need to hire someone that does it for me. Yeah,
and if let's say you're starting with zero capital or zero savings, that's okay, because that's how I started. I didn't start with a huge capital, no savings. Mine was just like, okay, I have maybe 4 dresses in my closet that I don't use that I could just cut up and make into fabrics and make headbands out of it. Then work with what you have. And I think that I guess people get frustrated because they feel like, okay, I'm not talented and I have to hire these people. And then let's say you don't have the money, then maybe your grandmother knows how to sew.
Right.
And then maybe she'll just do you that favor, hopefully.
Yeah, that's where passion comes.
Yes,
right?
Because you figure it out.
Exactly. You overcome difficulties and you saw, I don't know how to do this. Okay, let's talk to this guy. My aunt knows. So that's very interesting.
And I think that's it, because I don't want to discourage anybody that's like, you know what, I'm so passionate, but I'm not talented. It's okay. You you could work with what you have. Maybe your mother knows how to sew. Maybe your father has $100 that can let you borrow, or work with people.
Or you like the fashion industry, but you are not talented in the creative side. But maybe your brother knows, or you're gonna be great at the business side of the fashion, which is so important.
Yes,
because prices are being brought down every day. Every day it's difficult to sell this and that, and
absolutely, yes.
So you also need to know that balance, correct?
Yes.
Between the business and the creative part.
And don't let that frustrate you if you're not talented, or if money is an issue. Just per my experience, like I said, I work with what I had around me. If I needed to ask my neighbor to help me sew, if I needed somebody to give me directions where to get shirts, it's just you stepping out of your box and saying, hey, let's work.
Right. Is there anybody beyond your grandmother that you admire so much? Is anybody beyond the family circle of you that you admire the most? A figure is alive or not?
My daughter, my 13-year-old daughter. She's going through so many changes right now, and I think it's a very emotional transition that she's going through because she's a teenager now. So I'm just valuing her growth, her life as she gets older, and just really spending as much time with her. But I feel like a lot of the things that I'm doing now, or a lot of things that I've done in the past, have been because of my daughter has pushed me. Even though she hasn't said, Mom, like, go to work, or you need to do this. No, I think what me and my daughter went through at a very early on in our lives growing up has made me the strong person that I am to keep pushing because of her.
Interesting. And the last question. This conversation has been awesome, but I always ask this question. If I give you a billboard in the most important corner in town.
On the 101 freeway.
Okay. So which message would you put in beyond, your brand, of course, but a message that people can learn from or be inspired by?
I made this quote just a few weeks ago that says, arriba las mujeres como mi madre, mi abuelita, my mom, my aunt, my primas. And I would just incorporate that into a big billboard, because I feel like we need to give credit to the amazing women that have supported us, that have empowered us, that have raised us, and give them that ring, hey, you know what? Call your mom today, tomorrow, now. Tell her how much you love her and appreciate her. Because life is precious, but it's also you never know.
You never know.
So I want to leave that message on a billboard and say, you know what? Arriba las mujeres, como all the wonderful women that are part of my life, regarding everyone's lifestyle.
It's nice that you admire some people that is surrounding you, and you learn from them, and you respect them. It's also very important.
Right.
So thank you so much for being with us. And
thank you for having me.
Wish you the best, and let's keep in touch, okay?
Yes, for sure. Thank you so much.
If you want to know more about Jessica and her line of products, go to RageddyTiff.com. Thanks so much for listening to our show this week. If you want to find out more about our podcast, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at ComoLoHizo, or visit our website at ComoLoHizo.com. Please subscribe to our show on Apple Podcasts or anywhere you listen to your podcast. If you want to reach out to comment or suggest a topic, please email hello@ComoLoHizo.com. This show was produced at the iHeart Studios in Los Angeles. I'd like to thank our producers, Fernando Alejandro Schiantarelli and Amelia Machiavello, our sound engineer, Martin Garcia, and Annie Siderovich, our general producer. Cómo Lo Hizo is a co-production from Premier Radio Network and Crece Grow Media. I am Fernando Schiantarelli. Thanks again for listening.